Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Ainan's Forensic Classroom. So in the previous video, we understood the basics of crime scene videography, what it is, why is it important, and how to record it properly. Now today we are going one step deeper. We will move into the technical and legal side of crime scene videography, which is extremely important, especially for your exams and your real life practice. Now let's start with the equipment. What do you actually need to carry out a proper crime scene video recording? Now the basic requirement is a digital video recording device. Now this can be a professional video camera, a camcorder, or even a DSLR, which is used by the forensic teams. Now, the minimum quality should be 1080p, full HD, although nowadays many units are moving towards 4K recording for better clarity. Another important point that I want to discuss here is smartphones. Now, smartphones should not be used as a primary device. It is acceptable only in emergency situations where no proper camera is available, and even then, the reason must be clearly documented. Next one is absolutely essential, which is a tripod. A tripod ensures stability, it prevents shaking, and it maintains consistency in recording. As we discussed in the last video, shaky footage is not just a technical issue, it can also create problems in the court of law. Then we have lighting equipment, especially portable LED lights. Now, many crime scenes are indoors, they are poorly lit, or they are recorded at night. Now, proper lighting is necessary to clearly capture details. A commonly used technique is oblique or cross lighting, where light is placed at an angle to highlight the surface details like footprints or blood stains through shadows. Now for the audio, a directional or shotgun microphone, which looks something like this, is preferred. It captures sound from the direction of the camera and it reduces background noise, which ensures the clear and professional narration. Also, you should carry extra batteries and storage cards. A crime scene cannot be paused because your equipment ran out of power or memory. So backups are very essential at a crime scene. Another important feature is a time and date generator, which is either built in into the camera or it's added separately. This ensures that the recording has a visible timestamp, which is very important for the legal purposes. Now, during close-up recordings, we use scale markers or rulers. They are placed next to the evidence so that the size of the object is clearly visible in the video. And finally, supporting items like a lens cleaning kit, a camera bag, and a recording log register are also important for proper handling and documentation. Now let's talk about the legal aspect, which is extremely important. Now, first question is, when is crime scene videography mandatory in India? Now, as per the guidelines, crime scene videography is considered mandatory in serious offenses, especially those where the punishment is 7 years or more. Now, under the older law, which is Indian Penal Code, this includes offenses like murder, rape, dacoity, or kidnapping for ransom, or cases under NDPS Act or offenses under UAPA, which is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, or custodial deaths and organized crimes. Now, coming to the updated legal framework, the IPC has now been replaced by the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and Criminal Code of Procedure has been replaced by Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita. Now, under the BNSS, there is a greater emphasis on videography, and in serious cases, the videography of a search, seizure, and crime scenes has been made more structured and, in certain situations, mandatory. Now let's understand, how does a video become admissible in court. Now, for any video recording to be accepted as evidence, there are certain basic conditions that must be fulfilled. Now, the video must be relevant to the case. It must be authentic, which means that it should be original and genuine. Also, it must be unaltered, which means that there should be no editing or tampering, and there must be a continuity with no unexplained gaps. And also, it must be supported by a proper documentation and chain of custody. Now, under the old law, which is Indian Evidence Act, specifically Section 65B, states that any electronic record, including a video, is admissible only when it is accompanied by a certificate of authenticity. Now, this certificate must confirm that the device was functioning properly, the recording is original and accurate, and the data has not been tampered with. Without this certificate, even a perfectly recorded video can be rejected in court. Now, under the new law, which is Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam, which replaces the Indian Evidence Act, the same principle continues under BSA Section 63. Now, electronic evidences still require proper certification and authenticity to be admissible. And let's talk about the limitations of crime scene videography. And this is something, examiners often like to ask. What are the limitations of crime scene videography? Now, even though videography is a powerful tool, it is not perfect. It has its own limitations that you have to understand. Now, the first one is video cannot capture fine details as accurately as photography. For example, a high resolution photograph of a fingerprint or a tool mark will always show more detail than a video close up of the same evidence. Second, it requires more resources. Videography needs proper equipment, trained personnel, and more time compared to photography. Not all police units may have access to advanced video equipment. The third one is the large file sizes. Now, high quality video recordings take up a lot of storage space. Managing, storing, and transferring such data requires proper digital infrastructure. Fourth is the presentation challenges in court. Now, in the courtroom, if the courtroom basically does not have a proper display equipment, the effectiveness of your video can be reduced. A poorly displayed video may fail to convey important details in the court. Then the fifth one is risk of manipulation. Now, with modern editing tools, videos can be altered or tampered with. That is why proper authentication methods, documentation, and legal certifications are extremely important. Then the quality depends on technique. If the recording is done poorly with wrong angles, bad lighting, or shaky movements, the video can actually confuse rather than clarify, right? In some cases, a poorly recorded video can create doubt in the court of law. And lastly, the possibility of misinterpretation. Now, if the video is not supported with proper narration or explanation, it may be misunderstood by the viewer. So, the key takeaway is basically that videography is a very powerful tool, but it must be used carefully, professionally, and along with other methods like photography and written documentation. And with this, you now have a complete understanding of crime scene videography from basics to techniques or from legal aspects to courtroom application. And when you combine this with crime scene photography, you're not just learning, you're becoming fully equipped to handle real crime scene documentation. So if this series has helped you, don't just watch and leave. Please hit the like button, share it with your friends and classmates, and support the learning. And if you have any doubts, questions, or even small confusions, drop them in the comment box. I'll personally go through them and help you out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.